Well, Chris, I promised some viewers that we would talk about Old World.
Old World! Let's go.
That's the one. Yep. Because they love what we have to say.
I don't know why I've not.
No, even though especially Chris, he hasn't painted an old.
I don't
world,
do any. Yeah,
I'm
I'm a pundit, as they say.
You have a pundit here, exactly. Yeah. You used to play. You used to play the game professionally. Or whatever you want to call it,
I'm one of those sportscasters or whatever. I'm brought in to talk about what it's like.
Former War Masters Challenge champion, 2011 or something, or
like
not
that.
even 2009.
God, ages ago.
Yeah. Anyway, I won that Crossroads that one time. That was
Crossroads,
a pretty big deal. With their high elves or something.
Welcome to upstate New York.
Yeah, but we used to get Buffalo area channels on cable TV.
The Buffers, yeah.
Poor hockey team. Anyway, so I guess what do we got? We got.
We don't have much. There's not much here.
Empire. It's just flashing garbage time.
Empire
so the Empire's coming.
On order. We put an order in.
So if you were
1 month away,
if you were interested in the Old World, you got to pretend you're become a character for a minute. What about this release excites you?
Oh my god! What about the problem with Empire?
Oh, here it started with the problem.
Yeah, there's a problem.
Oh man!
Is I literally did like a whole Empire army, in 8th edition.
As did I.
And it was awesome.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorite armies I've ever painted.
Yeah. I did Altdorf, and you did the Marienburg or something.
No, Middenheim. Yeah, where they worship Ulrich, not Sigmar.
Yeah, very cool.
Which is cool. So it was like, for me, it was like a really fun project because I did like tons of conversions. Yeah. My great swords were great hammers. My knights were actually riding like wolves instead of horses. Yeah. I did a custom war altar with a wolf on the back. It was really cool. Yeah. Very, very fun project.
Yeah.
So like, and this is like, for me, it's like endemic of Old World as a product on a personal level for interest. Is like to see those models come back out again, the same ones.
Yeah. So we got our sales sheet for what's coming out. Yeah. In like a month or whatever. It's like, because they're not releasing anything for the next 2 weeks. After this Saturday. And all the excitement got whooshed away because none of the cool models previewed are regular retail shelf items.
They're unfortunately not. They're all resin.
Yeah. So that sick Knights Panther guy.
Yep, very cool.
Resin, probably, I guess. He's web order only.
Yep.
Those sick wizards, which actually
really nice. The wizards look great.
Some customers alerted me to. This is how little I pay attention or whatever. Those guys were have sketches in the rule book, so they're Easter egged in the rule book already, which is kind of cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
that's very cool. Man, we got some Old World fans.
Yeah. And then, we had a doubles or team Old World little event here on the past weekend, which I'll get into briefly in a bit. But anyway. So for Chris and I, maybe hard to get super jazzed about some state troops coming back, and I don't know.
I think
the Demigryph Knights I've always fond of.
They're great miniatures. Yeah. I think there's some great minis in there. The Demigryph Knights. I really like the War Altar kit. It was a fun.
And that Pistolier kit I think is also coming.
Pistoliers, nice Outriders. Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah.
I think like a lot of these Old World releases so far is they're for people that feel like they missed the boat before.
Yep.
Or for people that, like I said, we've talked about, played the Total War games, never got to enjoy like Warhammer Fantasy Battles because it was gone when they played Total War, and now it feels like a bit more like a new release to them. And so I think that's obviously where it's more targeted at, right?
Is that great sword unit back in?
Yeah, they're nice new with the gold swords we used to call them.
We called them gold swords because they're at the time.
We have to say at the time.
At the time, they released
$50 Canadian.
I think they were more than that, weren't they? 60 or something. I think they're 60.
Maybe, but either way, regular
because the other kits were
bucks or whatever.
Yeah. The other kits were like 40 or under, and they were like double or whatever. And people were like, "Whoa, gold swords,
great swords, gold swords."
Yeah, and then the Witch Elf kit came out. It was $70, and
It
we're
set
like,
the new
holy
bar.
crap! Yeah, it's following the I don't know the scheme that the other releases have had. So you've got your army box, you've got a few plastic kits, you got your journal, card pack. There's dice. I haven't really looked at the dice. Are they rehashing a dice?
Well, the problem is that they haven't previewed like because we're in the holiday season. They did like an early advanced order thing. So
they want to get their numbers.
The first time it doesn't usually happen this way, but like the Warhammer community, like it's what's coming next article is actually going to be this weekend.
Right.
But we had to put our numbers in earlier than that, which is
that's true.
A little backwards.
That's true.
Normally
That's true. Yeah.
So I haven't seen the dice or anything like that. And
they're like, but how many do you want?
they're like, 1 month before it comes out, how many do you want? Yeah, before a single customer has asked you for anything.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's the tough part of it.
But the tough part of it.
So I think it would be really cool, and I don't know that they've confirmed that they're doing this yet, but seeing the Knights Panther guy made me think they might be. But like, if they're bringing back all the made-to-order Knight variants, like the Knights of the Blazing Sun, the Knights Panther, and the what do you call them, the White Wolf?
Yeah.
That's really cool. For me, that's very nostalgic because that stuff was even hard to get when I was collecting Empire.
Yep.
So that would be, and like seeing the War Wagon come back again, I'm like, that's a cool model. That's something I remember from being like really young, like as a kid.
Yeah.
And then that thing was gone. Like I don't know, like third or fourth edition, they stopped making the War Wagon. Like that.
Yeah. I was like that thing is. I don't know if I'd keep the crew, but the wagon itself, even in my city's army, it would look cool or whatever.
Yeah.
If I like paired it with something. I know there was some like. What did they do? They just paired it with like the Hurricanum horses or something, or they're like remastered with new horses, and we're like, those are just regular horses or whatever.
Yeah. Hey, let them have their moment.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, it's good. It's like I said, following the script. A topic that came up over the weekend when I was chatting with the Old World guys here is like, I just like, and I'm not trolling them. I just kind of open it. I'm like, so what do you guys? What do you think is gonna happen? Like, what's your wish list for, I guess, afterwards? And, of course, the first question was like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I was like, well, going at the rate that they're going, like by next fall, they should complete the cycle of the current nine armies, right? Because we've got Empire now. Mm-hmm. Obviously, High Elves are gonna come in the spring, I guess. And then that leaves Wood Elves and Beastmen for the summer and fall, and then in theory that should wrap up the thing. There's a lot of comments on like, oh, there should be a campaign book. That makes sense.
That'd be really cool.
If you go about the Horse Heresy route, where they do these little books with like new stuff in them, they could just do another wave of arcane journals because they just introduce flavored lists and.
Yep.
Heroes, or obviously, a combination of things to get us to the invariable second ed, in whether it's in 3 years or 5 years or whatever, and what that would look like. So, I hope that I think the game will continue to do fine if they keep making some interesting plastic kits, if they've already committed to that or not.
But that's the weird thing about the Empire release, right?
Yeah.
There isn't a single new plastic kit for Empire. That's where I'm like, oh man, are they?
I guess, and I have a feeling it'll be the same for High Elves because of like these are model ranges that already have a lot of plastic, so they're probably like. But it is too bad because like on the dwarf release, the shield bearer guy did super well.
Brilliant miniature.
And
really nice
we sold
miniature.
lots of them, so I was kind of like, this Knights Panther guy, like I don't know how he's not just like a plastic box. It's bizarre. Or like he could be an evolution of the everything captain that we used to, the plastic captain that was really good. That guy was great. So I don't know. I'm kind of like, that's cool. We'll see how it does here. I have a couple Empire players, which I assume will pick up journals and things. But I don't know. The dwarves were really one of the better ones of the releases. Castle was not bad. And then anyway, so we had the tournament over the weekend. I don't know. We had 10 people. We were supposed to have 12, but one team couldn't make it, so that was unfortunate. And what did I see? I saw dwarves, Bretonians, Tomb Kings, all the usual suspects.
So was anyone using a non-arcane tome?
Yeah, there was Skaven.
Oh, Rich was playing. Okay.
Skaven, and it was team events. So it was a Skaven half.
Right.
So 1,000 points of Skaven.
Just all guns, probably.
No, you have some tar pits.
Okay, fair
and
enough.
things like that. Is that it? Yeah, I think everyone else was playing a journal. Oh no, there was some Chaos Dwarf stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm the bloke who does that. Yeah.
Yeah, the bloke. Yeah.
The bloke.
There were some Chaos Dwarves, and that and Skaven. I think were the only non, whatever you want to call them, supported armies. So, and that's the other thing is like we were like they probably need to do a book that just they need to bring in like Seraphon vamps, vampire counts, Skaven, and like ogres or something. That there's no reason why those should be like not, PDF why they're PDF armies. We have like model ranges anyway.
It just seems to be a clear decision that they don't want to mix the old with the new to a degree, you know?
Well,
which is bizarre.
Slaves to Darkness, though.
But it's bizarre because they even released the old Slaves to Darkness models, right? So they're But to your point,
buying the
they have both
Yeah.
ranges that are coexisting.
Yeah.
So why do you? Why in that case, but not in other cases? Yeah.
Well,
it does seem a little odd.
Chaos is the bad guy. They can't not have Chaos.
They need the bad guy. Yeah.
Anyway, the event was fun. We tried something different. We did, I wrote a rules package that was trying to like be the path of least resistance. So we did kind of like Highlander style. So when you wrote up your 1,000, it was you and your partner brought 1,000 points each. You couldn't duplicate anything, including So if you played double dwarves, you still couldn't duplicate anything. And that kind of kept it. Yeah, kind of kept the army levels a little, I don't know what you call it. You can still make interesting combos, but yeah, you can't like double and harness a busted thing twice. I was trying to reduce by the points numbers and in general to reduce like giant monster mounts as much and also like spamming certain units. At the end of the day, the guys seemed to enjoy they felt I remember one of them commented that like, oh, it was just like they couldn't take it too seriously, and I'm like, good, that's like kind of the objective. They were kind of like, yeah, they just enjoyed playing and didn't really worry too much because like you don't have as much control, and you have the two-headed giant thing happening where you and your partner have to like try and do you want to do this? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. You're just kind of like, and you also don't want to be like, no, don't do that. You're just kind of like, oh, whatever, like if you want to do that, do that. I think despite some interesting things I saw. I didn't realize this. I guess it's a Tomb King Journal Army or something, or there's a special regiment, or maybe it's just part of the game. This is a little how I know or whatever. A nice tar pit of 60 skeletons where you can have spearmen in the front and archers in the back of the same unit. It's kind of cool. Isn't that neat? You can like volley fire with the guys in the back really and cool. Soak damage in the front. Of course, the albeit reduced in points and size, the Bretonnian Peg Knights with Duke were still running rickshaw over everything.
Obviously.
So that didn't change. It doesn't matter how many restrictions you put on it.
It's like a 40k bike Death Star.
It's a powerful 40k unit in a game that doesn't have rules to handle it or whatever. Speaking of which, GW will continuously like tinker. The AOS just got a big like point, basically game like it's like edition 4.5. We might as well call it today, and they'll tweak all kinds of things. But they're like old world out. We'll just leave it the way it is. It's fine. Anyway, they probably should step in a little bit more into that game, but just a touch more.
Well, I mean, like they
just to keep it fresh.
I think there's like two arguments to be made there. I think you can argue yes, like you should probably do that stuff, but I think they have this like. I don't recall like an understanding, but like this sort of like hands-off approach to their games that are clearly designed for like older gamers, to not meddle with it, to not like tinker with it, to not give them the feeling that like the books they bought are going out of date, to not like, even if it's like they're giving them like the classic vibes again. Sure. Where like, your army book might be a bit strong and there might be a problem unit, but like that's just how it's going to be until we make a new one.
Yeah. Yeah,
like, that's literally how it used to be. That's how it used to be. Like you have to deal with. You have to deal with your Wood Elf book for 7 years. Like it or not, you've had to,
whether it was busted or not busted.
Start a new army if you don't like it.
Basically, that
was basically it, right?
To play Bretonnians. So anyway, A lot of dwarves, a lot of Bretts, things like that. I think it was the dwarf and Bretts that ended up winning it at the end, followed by Bretts and Tomb Kings. Bretts, Tomb Kings. Anyway, good time. Hopefully we can do something like that again. We'll probably have another league in January, fire up. My conclusion is, so far, it's just kind of, you get quasi like seasonal update on what's happening, at least with that game in the store, because people are curious. I would say the game has, or it's like, I'm trying to find the right words. Its trajectory has flatlined a bit, for sure. I'm not really getting too many new people, or people walking in being like, it kind of, early days of the old world coming back was like, you'd always see some guy come in that you haven't seen before, that was like back in because fantasy's back, and then I saw my league slowly add players and grow. But now I'm seeing the same consistent group over and over again, and not really much change. I had a couple guys come in from out of town, which was super nice for the tournament, and hopefully they'll come out again. They seem to have a good time. But I think the game's probably settled where it's going to be. Like, I don't know. Maybe the High Elves and another thing will, the other releases will get a few players kind of come out of the woodwork. But I feel like they've already been playing. If they've found ways. They've had enough time to, like, because they've had their rule books already. It's not like they're, the journal does. Year now, yeah. The journal does just add a bit, but it's like,
it's more about sourcing the miniatures. Like, I guess the argument you could make is the Empire and High Elf stuff has been really hard to source.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the only argument you're
so I anticipate High Elves to sell better than Empire, but I don't know. It really depends how much resin there is. I think likely whatever's going to go on with Old World is going to basically stay the same for the next little while. Like, could be the next year or two.
I think we've got another year ahead of us of what just happened, basically, right? Like, well, actually, how many books are left? Empire, 4. High Elves, Wood Elves,
Beastmen, 4.
Beastmen, okay.
So by the next 12 months,
you think
we'll
4?
have the rest.
You think they'll only do 4 in 12 months? It's possible.
I mean, if we have Empire January,
I guess they could just do 1 a quarter.
High Elves April,
they could just do 1 a quarter,
and then and then summer and fall, and then that's it.
Yeah, and then they'll say I mean, obviously they've already decided what they're doing after it's a big company. They've made those decisions.
I mean, hopefully we get like a banging preview and that LVO or whatever, or Adepticon that gives us some.
No.
Chris is like, there's no chance. We're always 100% right on those takes, though.
No, it's not happening. They're not going to show anything until anything like what's next, till probably near the end of next year.
I just think that there needs to be, whether they go the route of the slowest of drip, which is the Emperor's Children. They're doing the silly
Sisters of Battle thing.
Sister Battle.
Drip, drop. Look at the shoe.
Here's a shoe, and here's a little Slanesh icon and a helmet and a little render, and you're just like,
just stop bring you to a fever pitch.
Pitch. Yeah. There's just way too many innuendos you can make about Slanesh, but we're not going to. But it would be cool if they could put just whatever it was to make us be like, oh, we have plans for something, another big thing, to go with it. Because I think it's safe to say that it deserves it, but I don't know. Like,
I think the Old World guys have earned something cool after this. Mm-hmm. Whether or not Games Workshop... So there's 2 lessons Games Workshop can learn here, which I'll just end the video on this thought.
I don't even know how we got that far. 18 minutes. Well done.
Well, this is our garbage time video for the week, so there's a lot of rambling.
I don't think we provide the viewers with any content.
There was very little content in this video.
Well, they wanted to hear about some guy. I just wanted to hear my voice.
I'm not hearing any
Old World.
They do, and they're like,
good now.
Good for another week. I think Games Workshop could take 2 lessons from this year that's happened. The first lesson is the lesson I'm sure most players are hoping for, which is there's a market here.
Sure.
It's not the market from 20 years ago, which, we could argue that market wasn't very good either. Mm-hmm. But there's a market here for a specialist game where we can put some money into it, like we do with our other ones, like Horus Heresy and stuff, and we release kits throughout the year and make new armies and that sort of thing. Not to the same degree as Age of Sigmar or 40K, but we're going to invest into this. The other argument that they may make, which we don't necessarily want them to make, is look at all the money people are spending on things we've already made.
Yeah.
Let's keep doing that.
Let's keep doing that.
And we'll just keep doing these like little new little nibble things like resin figure of this guy, and we're going to basically treat it like Lord of the Rings, and we're not going to ever really put any money into this. You want to be in that bucket?
Holy moly! It's like
that's a long sigh.
That's a long sigh.
Yeah. It is what you know. And that said, two different ways you can go there. One is very optimistic, but has more, say, risk for the company, like because they're invest more money. The other one is less risk, and it's kind of proven to work this year. So that's like the good and bad of what's happening. Is like people are buying the old models because they love them.
I mean, the reality is, and they have content for a while still to go. Yeah. Is just from the vaulting kit after kit, and some arcane journals is like so easy. And for them, relatively cheap. Yep. To just,
Games Workshop has not fully, and going to Warhammer World maybe understand this. They have not fully understood how much of a Nintendo they are yet.
Yes.
And when Games Workshop wakes up one day and says, "Oh man, absolutely true. We need to actually tap into this nostalgia more," they will start. Yes. They will. That's when they will truly ascend into the money making stratosphere. Because they could do print on demand old editions and hobby books, and that's where like the sky's the limit for what they could do, right? Yeah, we'll see though.
Yeah. They definitely don't from the vault enough stuff.
No,
it's like really pathetic actually how little they. Yeah. Wait till they from the vault the whole Trueborn Marines.
We were saying that before. Right? Yeah. Like they did they have like 40K so big we split it into two. We have two 40Ks now. There's Primaris 40K, and there's like old classic 40K.
Yeah. It's not Horus Heresy though. It's just
and we're gonna re-release the old Guardians with all the bajillion bits, but it makes the guy always the same or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. When are we gonna get the what is it the cardboard Great Eagle from Fifth Ed? That's we gotta get. That could be $25 or whatever. Anyway, there's your little quarterly old world thing. I don't know what just happened, but there it is. So
yeah, we talked about old world.
I'm gonna try. I'm desperately. My resolution is to play another game in the next 12 months.
You're being really ambitious, eh? Here's Jay signing up for a gym membership, saying he's going to use it or whatever. That's what.
Well, maybe if Hiles comes out and then Chris does an army, which he probably won't. If he does, which probably won't. Then maybe I'll get another game. Otherwise, yeah. It's a function of time. There are other people I could play, but aligning a schedule is not easy. Right?
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
Even my toddler's a bit older.
For me, I think the interest level will start up after this first wave of stuff. Like
sure.
when I see the plan unfold in front of my eyes.
Yeah.
We'll see. But what do you guys think? Are you enjoying it still? Has the interest waned for you at all? Is it still strong as ever? Are you still in love like high school days? Like what's going on? Are you still digging it? Mm-hmm. And which of the two tracks that Games Workshop might take, which one do you think is more likely? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Happy holidays if you watch this next week. And yeah, take care.
Thanks. Bye.